Alright guys, so I know I am super duper late in terms of reviewing for this week's banner unit. We have Gottrlatan. I have never seen a victory, so sorry to say that, but I'm not caught up yet. Simply saying, but in terms of the unit, there are a few pointers that I do want to talk about right now. Next week, I am highly anticipating we should be getting the quote, or I don't know if they're going to be labeling it as the first year anniversary banner, but we should be getting the the Banshee Norm, because next week we are getting a clan battle week. So the enemy that they're saying is going to be a blue element enemy, so there's going to be a high chance that we should be getting Banshee Norm. All right, so keep that in mind. Banshee Norm is going to be a green ray unit, and it should be very powerful for the arena meta. While for your general content, let's say for raid, or like your I don't know, like clan battle. I think clan battle week should work, but anything after that, it may not be effective. Any other game content wise that require you to probably do some damage or some shenanigans probably would not be as effective. So I'm just gonna point that out right there. I think the Bashino is specifically, it's more like an arena specialist. While yet to be released or yet to be announced, we have the blue unicorn and TD. Obviously, that one goes from the red cycle frames that awakens into the blue cycle frame. I say that one is going to be a direct comparison to the Gottrlatan, or Gottrlatan, yeah, however you want to pronounce it, because as we are going to be taking a look at the kits, there are a few pointers within this kit itself that is more superior that we'll be pointing out. So that's why this is probably going to be the greatest bait banner that you are having, because just a little bit of a fun fact, this unit is actually released, I believe some people are talking about like December 2023, somewhere around last year for JP. So this is super duper advanced release for global. So by not pulling on this unit, I think you're probably doing yourself a just not a good favor in any take or form. You're actually just hurting your account if you are looking at it purely from just the unit performance aspect of things. So yeah, I personally have some on it. I'll probably going to be doing a showcase of it. It was I did some summoning at the airport as I was waiting for my flight, so I was like, you know what, let's actually jam in a few multi, and holy smoke, we did pretty decent. I'm not gonna talk about how much I went into it, but it was pretty good, and I tested things out, and my gosh, performance wise, it was pretty darn good. I'll say that. I'll do a showcase of that tomorrow. I just want to get this out so you guys are kind of informed of what's going on. So let's take a look at a unit. So stat wise, I don't think we should focus too much on that, but heading down to the EX skill, we have the Mega Beam Cannon at EX skill level 5. We are dashing out 1155 attack damage, and after that you're also restoring EX gauge by 50%. So starting out, that's more like I think 7,000 attack damage, and then you're down to 20%, which is still pretty good because of the fact that you are restoring an EX skill gauge with that. That's pretty nice. So as you are advancing your EX skill levels, that is obviously going to max out at 50% at 1155. So that's pretty darn good. Being a generic unit, hitting that hard for EX skill, I'll definitely take that. And with the EX skill restoration, who doesn't want that? Transcendent skill, we will kind of skip over that real quick, and which we'll go over afterwards. So skill 1 is actually packing a lot. All right, for a unit like up this caliber, not even being a limited unit, dude, this is like I'll definitely say this is more online with what we are seeing for a limited unit like at this current timeline. But fast forward like a year from now, this is kind of like a joke. All right, so unicorn, both the unicorns, like the Banshee and the unicorn entity, they are definitely like on like a losing streak if you ask me, because of what they're packing within the kit. All right, it's actually pretty darn good. To one enemy unit with the highest HP, starting at 0.1 seconds after battle begins, grants sustained damage status. So this unit is going to do 133% attack damage every 5 seconds. So don't even worry about that, because that's not really going to be doing a lot of damage. It's kind of like a chip damage. So it's definitely not something to worry about at the current timeline, I feel like, because like I feel like whenever we are getting like the very last update that's JPS got sent, like with the new gear skills whatever, I think that is when this is going to be a lot more powerful, because this right here obviously scales up with this one, and I feel at that point in time it may be like I'm talking about 2 years from now on, right? So I think at that point it may be good. But you guys know from, I think, who else has this mechanics? I think Kanfa. Kanfa has similar ability where it dashes out some damage at every 5 seconds, and even that does not do a whole lot of damage. So it's cool to have, but this is more like a cherry on top. It's nice to have, but it's not really needed, right? And then when battle begins, increase movement speed by 48%, evasion by 48%, and then being damaged by 48%. What on earth are we getting here? That is crazy. Getting that much unconditional, I don't know, man. 48% evasion, that's a lot. You can probably toss this into arena and you can survive. And any hard form content like general content that probably requires you to evade to survive a little bit longer, this unit probably gets you covered. So that's pretty darn nice. And when we are taking a look at skill 2, we have unlocked the Beam Tapa, and when battle begins, increase max damage by 200,000. So this is where this unit is going to survive a little bit longer as far as like when this unit is going to phase out, because having the damage cap increase definitely allows this unit to perform a little bit better, while both the Unicorn NTD and then Banshee Nord does not have, if I recall, does not have that at all. So yeah, like them aging out is going to be inevitable, but it's going to accelerate a little bit faster with this unit in hand nowadays. So kind of crazy, all right. And then whenever EX is activated, it's going to be for both of them, for beam damage. And then for proximity damage, it's going to be stacking up to 64%. So the fact that you are restoring EX skill gauge by 20% up to 50%, that is going to allow you to quickly get your damage stacked up. So it's going to be permanent afterwards. So you're talking about 48% plus another 64 for beam in general. That is a lot, all right? That is pretty darn good, all right? And then in terms of the weaponry setup, we have both the beam rifle on the main and secondary on the additional one, and then beam tapa at the third. So this is the same layout as what is it, the Sasabi lifestyle, like the lifestyle statue one, but throughout my testing, this one seems a little bit more flexible, where it goes from the beam rifle, then beam tapa, and then recycle from there. While when we take a look at Sasabi, it actually go from 1 to 3, and then go back to 2, and then go back to 1. So this rotation is actually in line with just it streamlines it better, so you can maximize your damage a little bit better than Sasabi can. So this one is actually not that bad. But as far as damage wise, like this is not the most craziest out there, so but it's still a smoother attacking pattern, so I'll definitely give you that. All right, back to the transcendent skill. We have an additional 25% evasion, additional 36% beam damage, and then restore EX skill gauge by 50%. So you have your 25 and then you have your 48. So my gosh, dude, you're closing into 73% evasion. And if you're facing enemy that does not have increased accuracy, this unit is cooking them for sure, right? You're evading left and right, and they cannot lock into you unless they pop EX skill that stuns or grants them like an avoidable status. And at that point in time, this unit is kind of cooked. But otherwise, man, this unit is looking pretty solid. So that's why I was like, bro, releasing this unit this early, like we gotta summon. All right, I know it's anniversary next week. I know we should be getting Banshee Nord and Unicorn NTD, but performance wise, this unit is good. So yeah, you definitely have to plan, or you definitely have to evaluate whether or not you want to get like a hype unit, a good looking unit. That's gonna be next month, or you want a great kit but a lesser favorited unit. I don't know, but me personally, I rather go for a unit that's a little bit more performance wise as oriented, because I know like they will always recycle into the unicorns. Those are never gonna phase out. We will probably gonna see more unicorn in the near future. This unit, I definitely say it's gonna have a less appearance than those. So that's why I went for this route rather than to those, because like I think whenever the unicorn comes out, I probably will only get one copy just to satisfy the collection purposes. But other than that, I don't think I'm gonna go back in because they're just not gonna be that good for that long. So yeah, so that's just kind of how I'm thinking about that. As far as the unit, so I definitely say yeah, go for it because it's pretty darn good. So I definitely say don't skip on it. At least try to go for like a 1 or 2 multi to see if you guys can get it or not. But if third multi you don't get it, then just don't go for it, right? Definitely don't blow your diamonds away because like you still want to save for some other unit besides the unicorns duels. You still want to go for something else in the near future, right? So definitely do not blow through everything, right? And then we have Kate and Gina, right? So let's see what she's packing us over here. My gosh, we have a lot of text to go over. Sheesh. Skill 1, we have purple and generic, so up to 20% in total for evasion. So we're what, up to 93%? Yeah. Is that good enough? I think so. And then skill 2, we have a total of 6 effects. We have Zanskar War, we have Protagonist, High Firepower, Red Mobile Suit, Commander, rival units, and then Zanskar Empire affiliated. So the first 2 is increasing flat 38%, so you're up to 76. Another 38, another then the other one is going to be for melee by 38. And then we have a stackable range sense as well, up to 120. And then we have a stackable melee sense up to, what is that? It's like a good 114. And then we have, wow, we have another 52. So we have, that is like is that over 400 ring sense? If my map is correct, should be, right? Because you're getting another 114 right here, 120, and then this one is closing into, what would that be? Like a get over 100 or something. So maybe a little bit closing in. So maybe it's up to 300, but not 400 yet. But that's still a lot. My gosh, they are packing a lot of damage. So prerequisite is obviously popping EX gear for majority of them, especially the last 2 effects. That's stacking permanently for the melee and range sense. Wow, yeah, this pilot's powerful, especially prototype, high firepower, and then red mobile suit, commander type, and rival unit. Those are all common things that you will find on like Senanju, for example, that is yet to be released, obviously, or like the better version, or any other things that has the rival unit. So yeah, this pilot is good. Like Katejina, she's good. I definitely go for it as well. Pretty good overall. So yeah, they definitely released one of the greatest beat banner right before the anniversary. Like I think they definitely had us in the first half. Like by releasing this one, then this one, yeah, they definitely got us. But I definitely go for this one for sure. The Gundam EX, I wouldn't go for it because of the fact that a lot of them are just conditional base for the first 20 seconds. I don't prefer that. It's definitely pretty poorly designed for sure. They definitely want to keep things in check because global obviously is not at a status where they need a bajillion a lot of effects where they're permanent or whatnot. But yeah, this unit is definitely poorly designed for sure. It's poorly designed for global specifically, but for JP1 it's pretty broken. So definitely done us dirty for sure. But other than that, that is going to be pretty much it. I know it's a little bit longer because I haven't done one of these in like good 3 months or good 3 weeks actually. So I just want to kind of put in my thoughts into this unit. But other than that, that's going to be it, and I'll be catching you guys all on the next one.